Are you there? I'm here. I'm Jodi Livon. I'm the happy medium. And I'm speaking with all of you, Lake Harriet spiritual community people. And it's really nice to see your faces. I can see your faces. Can you see my face? Like, shake your head, yes or no. Yay, okay. So this was my excuse to put makeup on and a fancier hair covering. So this is awesome. So good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. It's a beautiful day here in Minnesota. I hope everybody is able to get out or open a window, have some fresh air. What an amazing thing to do for everybody to get together energetically. You know, the thing about doing something like this is energetically, you're together. Like all of the energies of anybody who's here, listening, watching, their energies together just as if you were sitting by Lake Harriet in a beautiful building. So thank you for coming. So I have a question. Have you been spending a lot of time on the internet? Because I have. So that said, this is from my Twitter feed. A taxi driver in Spain who has taken patients to the hospital free of charge got a call to pick up a patient from the hospital. So he went to go pick up the patient free of charge. And when he arrived, all the doctors, tons of doctors and nurses and people that work at the hospital gave him a standing ovation and handed him an envelope with money in it to say thank you. That is a beautiful thing. Those are the things I'm looking for on the internet. I'm looking for silver lining. I'm looking for something positive to land on, to make me feel the light that is definitely here. There's definitely light. Obviously, this is a very unique and difficult time, but there is a silver lining, and I look for it. And it isn't because I'm drinking lollipop juice all the time. It's because I choose to live in that kind of energy because the other energy feels awful. Okay, so here's another one from the internet that probably everybody's heard. So I look at the internet again to lift my spirits. So recently I was reminded of something that has comforted a lot of us. Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, his famous advice to look for the helpers. He says, when I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, Rogers said to his television audience, his neighbors, my mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping. Have you guys heard that before? I love this. So the taxi cab driver in Spain, that's a lovely example of the helpers. He's one of them. We are all helpers. In our own way, we are all helpers. So every time we extend a kind word, a smile, a nice thought, we're helping lift the vibration on the planet. Kindness and humor uplift. So in light of that, I don't know what the rules are. I don't swear, but this would be a swear word if I would say it. There's a website called F-ology, and you can probably do the math what the F stands for, and it sounds naughty, but it's not. It sounds bad, but it's not. So this is something I found on that because that site cracks me up. We all owe 2019 an apology for what we said about it. That cracked me up. And then I'm paraphrasing this one. Can we restart 2020 over? This version has a virus. So I look at these things at night. My husband's sleeping. I'm a late night Annie, and he's not. So I'm cracking up, and he's used to now rolling over, looking at the glow of my phone and me laughing. And it's usually for something like that, something that makes me feel uplifted and makes me look at something that's difficult in a nicer way because, again, that's just a better way for me to live. And I believe it's a better way for all of us to live if we can get there. So, and sometimes it's not a matter of looking at something that makes you laugh. It's just a matter of looking at something that just makes you feel better, just a little better. So happiness, joy, love, and humor lift our vibration. And that's why so many people are funny, my interpretation. So when I looked up the word mindfulness on the internet, which is what I do to help also spark my creativity, here's what I found. attention, awareness, cognizance, and consciousness. So when I added them to everyday mindfulness, which is the theme for this month with Lake Harriet Spiritual Community, everyday awareness, everyday attention, everyday cognizance, and everyday consciousness, things we can embrace every day to enhance the day. I'm looking for some things to enhance the day. That's going to help me. Will it help you? If you just be aware of what your thoughts are and how you feel. Even though we are in our own little space, it's a good idea to get some grounding. So let's do a grounding exercise, if you will. If you would, close your eyes and inhale and exhale slowly through your nose. And as you do, listen to the sound of your breath as it goes in you, in your lungs, comes out of your lungs, in and through you, and out and away from you. Just listen to the sound of your breath. And imagine the rich energy of Mother Earth slowly moving up from the core of the earth into you through the soles of your feet. As it sways and flows through your body, it heals your wounds and fills every cell in your body with light. As you inhale, in comes the light. And as you exhale, out goes the hurt, and healing happens. So raise your hands in the air, palms up, and think of someone you love who loves you. Remember feeling their love. Now wrap your arms around yourself and squeeze. You have now been divinely hugged. All your life you've been waiting, and now the time is here. We are all being called upon to shine our brightest light. Where there is confusion, know there are answers. Where there is pain, show compassion. Where there is darkness, beam your light. We are all related, one to the other. Open your heart and feel the connection. Shine your light and heal the world. I make these things up all the time, and I say them all day long because I was born for this, and so were you. We were all born for this. We are rising to the top. Not because things are perfect, because they're not, but we're rising to the top because we are mindful of the moment. If you're part of this, you're definitely mindful of the moment. And this moment is just a moment in time. We've had other moments and we will have other moments again, and that will be bright, and we can go out and we can hug our friends and go to the grocery store perhaps without a mask, and go to a concert and go in the park. We've had those moments and we will have them again. This is just a moment in time, and it's one we'll remember, but it's a moment in time. Remembering our joys, remembering the things that have brought us joy, will help us get through this. So every day, I go through and look through pictures, or I go through my memories, and I lift myself up with things that have been joyful, as well as the things that I'm finding on the internet that make me feel connected. Because we're connected here, and we're connected with everybody on the planet, and never more so than right now. So be mindful of what you're thinking and what you're saying. I know I say that all the time. It's even more important now. Allow the words you speak and the thoughts you think to lift your mood. So if you're in a really low space, you don't have to lift it to a space where you're, like I said, drinking lollipop juice. You can lift it to a space where you feel a little better. That's all. Just a little better. Just a little better. Just keep feeling a little better. So allow the words you speak and the thoughts you think to lift your mood. With every sweet notion, may you be elevated and your vibration raised. Your light now will brighten and your luck be enhanced. Choose always the words you speak and the thoughts you think with this in mind. This is happiness and leaning in to the wisdom of your soul. All around the globe, we are doing something together. Like I said, the entire planet is united in this quest to be healthy, to find a cure. All of us together are united with this in mind. When has that happened in your lifetime, where everyone on the planet wants the same thing? That to me is beautiful. Ugly as the virus is, this side of it is beautiful, that that's what we're looking for. We are doing something together, apart as we are. So social distancing can be emotionally draining. We all know that. So one thing you can do is you can hug people with your words. So I've been saying that for years. I write books about hugging people with your words and about intuition, obviously. And how you do that is you just think of a lovely thought when you're looking at somebody. You think of how you love people, or you think of that maybe you're not loving people at the moment, but at least there's people around. This is how you hug people with your words. Or you send a letter to somebody, an actual letter. Like, remember handwritten letters? Send a letter. I've been hearing people doing things like that. I think it's beautiful. Or give somebody a call that you don't normally connect with, or text somebody just to say checking in. That's hugging people with your words. Or if you're at the store and you're thinking, I hope that person doesn't get close to me because what if they have a virus? Think to yourself, I hope that person's healthy. I'm feeling healthy myself and I'm taking care of myself. And I'm glad that they're getting some food. So if you are alone or feel alone, please know that collectively, you're not. We're not alone. We are a community and we're in this together. So if you know someone who is ill or lost, or if you've lost somebody, I'm very sorry. I know that this makes it even harder, but you aren't alone. If you are feeling afraid or angry, frustrated, bored, or feel closed in, it's totally and completely understandable. I know there are people that watch this that are not in Minnesota. In Minnesota, we're lucky we get to walk around, and there are places all over the world where people cannot. Italy, I know that, I know in New York, people aren't walking around. We have friends there. We have friends in San Francisco who can't get up and walk around the way that we can here. But we can open up a window everywhere, and that helps. And to know that concentrate on the things that you get to do that make you feel joyful isn't a bad thing. If somebody else doesn't get to do it, doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to do it and feel joyful when you're doing it. When I feel bad, and believe me, I can go there, I remember my light. I remember the light inside of me, and just thinking about that lifts my spirit. And then I say out loud, and I do this, I tell everybody this, I do this while I'm walking. And so I'm sure people think I'm talking to myself, or if they know that I'm a medium, they probably think I'm talking to a spirit, but I'm really talking to me. This is what I say to myself. I am love and light in action. I feel the light. I see the light. I am the light. And it makes it bigger inside of me. My spirit is lifted when I say that. And it feels amazing. Even just now, just saying it, it's amazing to me. So every single day I do things like that. Or like I said, I text somebody, or I drop unused toilet paper at someone's door, or I take pictures of it and send it to my friends that don't live here. I do things that make me feel connected. In Zoom parties, people are having these Zoom parties. So I do things that purposely make me feel connected, and I tell people to do that. And what I've heard is other people are sharing their stories about how they're doing that and how it helps. So I don't know how to use Zoom super well, so I can only see a couple people, but I think there's more than a couple people. So I'm sending all my energy out as a hug to say thank you for being here. So I also look for pictures. If there's anybody doing this, looking for pictures of, looking through photo albums or looking on your phone for pictures of people that you love, this lifts my spirit too. This is the way I hug people with my words, is by sending those pictures to people. Sometimes they thank me and sometimes they don't, because sometimes they're not the most attractive pictures of us because it's maybe from 30 years ago, but I think they're fun anyways. So, like I said, I've hugged people with my words for years, and it brings me joy to say everything you do, when you do it with love, is a way of hugging people with your words. So I fill my words with thoughts. I smile at people, like I said, and I I don't give people the finger in my head the way that I do sometimes because I'm not driving that much. So it's a wonderful thing to be mindful of hugging people with your words. So let's see, I have something else I wanted to talk about. The social distancing thing doesn't mean you have to be emotionally distant. Has anyone else experienced that if you're out and about getting groceries or doing something, that some people don't even want to look you in the eye anymore because there's this fear of getting too close, perhaps? So I've noticed that. I noticed it almost from the very beginning, and it bothered me. I'm so sensitive. I feel it so deeply. And I thought, well, I think people are just afraid. So I purposely am thinking to myself, social distancing is smart to keep just X amount of feet, 6 feet away from people, but it doesn't mean that I have to think looking at them is going to it's not going to infect me. So it's a good thing to think about that. So not long ago, I woke up in this funk. I do that sometimes. And I just felt this heaviness in my heart. And I'm sure there was something astrological going on, and there's obviously something emotional going on. There's all this energy out there that feels to me like you can compare it to a humid day, where you walk outside, you might not be able to see that it's humid, but you walk outside and you feel like you've been hit, by pea soup in the face because it's so humid. And there's, when that's happening, in Minnesota that happens obviously, but when that's happening emotionally, I have to turn on my air conditioner, which means I dialing in for my light. So one of the things that I did when this happened recently is I wrote, because this is what I do to heal my heart a lot, is I write. So this is what I wrote. Today I am wearing cowboy boots. Today I woke up scared. I forgot how resilient the human race is. I forgot how resilient I am, but now I remember. Today I am diving in deep and bringing up memories that bring me joy. I am thinking about how much I love and how loved I am. I am staying informed and also limiting the amount of information I take in as a way of maintaining my balance. Today, I am wearing a beloved pair of cowboy boots because it makes me happy. Happiness is good for the immune system because happiness is good for everything. Find something every single day that brings you joy. A thought, a memory, a photo. Take a walk if you can, breathe in fresh air. These are very unique times. So that's what I wrote. Obviously, I'm relating to it and I'm still feeling it sometimes. But I do wear cowboy boots, or I do some things that bring me joy. And I'm again suggesting that you find ways to do that for yourself too. These are times when we receive energy from those. There are times when we receive, energy from those around us. When we can dial in and we calibrate to them and we give each other energy. I see it often when I speak at the beautiful Lake Harriet location that we are metaphysically in some way at right now. But there are also times where it isn't okay to go out and calibrate with other people because it's not as clear and clean. And this is one of those times. And again, so this is one of those times where you dial in for your light. So this is what I wrote about that. There are times when we receive energy from those around us and energy builds and is shared. And there are times when we need to derive energy from within and it builds and it builds. And this is one of those times. This is not a time to reach out and see how those around us are doing emotionally and then calibrate with them. We can reach out, but not calibrate with them. This is a time to make sure that you are emanating your greatest light and beaming optimistic, loving thoughts out onto the world. So then you say to yourself, today I stand in the light. Today I have compassion for those who are in the dark, but I will not stand in the dark with them. Today I feel the power of the light within me, and I know I walk with faith and grace beside me. So words to me can be very healing because words carry energy. Everything carries energy. And when I say words like this, and when I share words like this, and I feel people are thinking words like this, I can see the energy build around them from within. And really, lighting yourself up from within is the best thing to always do. And it's great to be able to reach out, but finding that inside of yourself, man, that's the best. And one of the other bravest things we can do right now is stay home. For those of us who are not needed outside, who don't have the kind of work, we're not doing something medical, or I know a lot of financial people are working outside, and now there are stores that are opening here in Minnesota if we can drive up and get the things, and I think that's all cool. But if you're one of the people that has to be at home, I heard this on the internet too, what an easy way to save lives, to just be at home. Things are going to be okay, and things are okay in many ways, and things are going to be okay. It's just a different kind of okay. So I don't know if any of you have kids at home. They're watching us. They're watching how we're dealing with this. And God willing, they won't ever have to deal with something like this again, but they might. And they will have us and the memories of how we deal with this to reflect on. And or people around us in general will have that memory of how they've dealt with this and how they're dealing with this. Pretty cool. So I always say, demonstrate that you are educated in the art of kindness. And one of the kindest things you can do is be at home, because we really are all related to each other, all of us. We are related one to the other. Open your heart and feel the connection, shine your light, and heal the world. And that's how I do it. That's how I suggest people do it. You know, so many times I talk about how to be intuitive and how to sense energy from those on the other side. All of this is related to it. You're going to be even better at being intuitive and sensing energy from the other side, because you are here. You are doing all of this. You are present. You are working to be happier. These are the things that you're doing, and that will make you more present. Okay, I'm going to press a button. I don't think I'll lose you. I'm going to see if I can see more people. I can see more people. Hi. No, I see more people. So I'm wondering if anybody has a question they would like to ask me. Gary will help with this. I think all you got to do is raise your hand.
Yeah, if people will raise their hand, I'll identify them and then unmute them.
Perfect. Anybody have a question about this? Is anybody having, okay, here's my question. Anybody A, having very vivid dreams, kind of weird dreams, and B, anybody feeling and sensing energy from loved ones that are in spirit now? Because loved ones in spirit, I believe, and I know, are coming to give us a hug, because they know this is a scary time for us, and so they're coming to give us hugs. And I also know that people are having very vivid dreams. I myself am having very vivid dreams and having weird time sleep. Anybody want to talk about that? People are, oh, there's someone.
And when I say raise hands, there's a way on chat to raise your hand on chat, and then I can see it up here. Yeah, I can't see everybody, so just raising your hand in the picture doesn't do it for me.
So Jill raised her hand. I don't know if she knows how to, I think it's Jill. I think.
There, I saw somebody. There's Megan raised her hand, so I'll unmute Megan.
I had the video off because I'm treating my, I have zits all over my face. So I'm treating those right now. But anyway, so when you talk about the, people visiting you or whatnot, just even, I've been feeling that a lot lately.
Yep, you're right.
I don't know where my video went, but last night even I was having trouble sleeping, and I just grab the Bible, because sometimes that's just really, it's boring and it puts me out, you know what I mean? But then I like to open it, just let spirit kind of show me where to open, kind of a thing.
Lovely.
But then
Lovely.
the first page that I opened to was 11 in that Bible. So then that was a, you know, spirit number. But then also I kind of flipped through again and I flipped to Daniel. My dad's name was Daniel. And so I just felt his energy and my relation. I don't, he died almost 8 years ago now, but I don't know if I've really grieved that process, because he died really suddenly of an abdominal aortic aneurysm. But it was just kind of a beautiful thing, because I just, you know, I cried, you know, and stuff, but it was just really powerful. And then
Very feeling.
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's just, and I have another lady that she was like a spiritual mom to me too, and I've just felt her energy too.
That's beautiful.
But
And
yeah,
they're coming. It's so wonderful that you can even identify the energy. They are coming to help soothe us and to let us know that they're watching, and they're pouring their positive energy into us, just like we've poured ours into them. So that's very beautiful. And I think, I mean, it's funny that you say reading the Bible is boring to you. I think it's wonderful that you open it up, because there are so many places to go for inspiration. And I love that inspires you. I like to read the Torah. It inspires me. And I love to read positive affirmations before I go to sleep. And I know that brings even better dreams. But definitely positive spirits are around us to give us strength and give us energy and to let us know we're not alone. So I love that you shared that. And you're adorable, even though you're treating your...
oh my God, I don't know what the heck. I gotta figure. You have any insight on what's causing that by chance?
Well, so actually, yes. So
Okay.
you're purging some things inside of you. You're getting rid of things. You're mourning. You're doing these things, and it can come out through our skin. It's perfectly fine and it's perfectly normal. So just think of it as your way of detoxing. This is just your way of detoxing, and it's all right. What a better time to detox when you don't have to be in front of people constantly. And again, you're adorable even though you're detoxing. So just
Thank you. I think you're adorable. I love your makeup and your hairband and everything.
Oh, thank you. Makeup, I remembered how to put it on.
I'm at school at Aveda, so I'm learning all that stuff now. But yeah, it's cool. Anyway, I'll let somebody else talk if they want to talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jodi, somebody on the chat asked a question. It says, our car alarms are going off simultaneously this morning. Any idea why this would happen?
That would be spirit. That would be spirit. That would be a spirited person stealing the cars, but probably not. That's spirit. Definitely anything electronic can be very much spirit, unless there's something just odd on that block. But that's a way of spirit to say, hello, we're here. We're going to get a hold of you in all sorts of different ways. I think it's pretty cool, as long as nobody is physically trying to steal the car. Oh, look, there is a chat. Okay.
Are you able to see the chat now?
Pardon me?
Are you able to see the chat?
I can just see that there's 4 people that are chatting. I can try to click on it. I'm just afraid I'm going to lose you. Let's see. Oh, that was Sharon that asked that question. Okay, I can only see one question.
The latest one is Laura Stillpoint, usage for cranial nerve energy work, having trauma release experiences, thoughts. Can you see that one?
Oh yeah, I do now. Laura Stillpoint, usage for cranial nerve energy work. So I'm not quite understanding the question. Are you asking if that helps with the cranial? I'm not quite understanding that question. Is point usage for cranial nerve energy work? I love that kind of work. The cranial, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I think that kind of work is incredibly useful. Absolutely incredibly useful.
And I have somebody who has a question. Renee, I'll unmute her.
Thank you. I definitely have been having more vivid dreams. I'm remembering them almost every night, sometimes multiple dreams, and I have felt my loved ones here. I have a question about ghosts. Are ghosts more active with this happening because people are home or less? And can you sense if somebody has a ghost in their house from Zoom?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can drive by a house and feel it. You can talk about a house and I can feel it. So two things. This is just the way I differentiate. There are spirits, those that love us from the other side, who visit us, and I term them spirits. They're in the light. And there are ghosts who are more on the earthbound, sort of still here without a body
Yep.
phase of their development. And I would say yes, that they can feel the static of the energy and the upset. Earthbound spirits feed on energy. And if your energy is up and it's scared, they're going to feed more on that too. And it doesn't necessarily mean they're trying to hurt you. They're going to feed more on that energy. So yeah, energy in general is louder right now. I mean, I'm sure everybody can feel it. Energy in general is louder. That's why you want to dial in to your light. So you bring that good vibration out, and what it does is it raises your vibration so high, the more negative, not as positive energy doesn't have anything to do with you anymore. It doesn't attract you because you're a magnet, and all of your thoughts and your energy is steel. So you want to bring those positive things to you by bringing out your light. And so you're saying you're in a home right now you think is haunted?
I'm wondering, and I just didn't know if you could sense that from Zoom or
So
not.
I don't feel like it's permanently haunted. I don't feel like there's this earthbound spirit constantly in your energy. I do feel like there's drive-by energy, and it's as I'm looking at you, it's to your right. There's a window, and then there's a picture, and then two little pictures under it, looks like.
This side or
Other.
the other side? Over here?
I'm seeing energy over there, and it's sort of visiting energy, not all related to you either. So it's sort of, there's actually little girl energy. Like, have you sensed that? Like kind of a playful little.
I've heard that before. There's been a medium that told me I had a little girl here.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't feel like she's constantly there, and I don't feel like she's trying to hurt you at all. But you could just, when you think positive things, and you feel in your heart that there's this beautiful light, you illuminate that light, and she can maybe see that light and dive in.
Okay.
So, but it's not your job to do that. It's just your job to be in your light. So just be in your light, and that will clear and clean everything. And she's actually waving at me.
So she is there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
yes.
you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can you see the chat? There's a couple of questions on there. One from a Sue Slauer would be the next.
Yep. Let's see. Could you talk a bit about the mask situation? I feel like myself getting mad at people for not wearing them out in public. And then I also have ambivalent feelings of wearing one myself. So that's probably why it's bothering you, is your own ambivalence toward it. It is, you know what? In some ways, the masks are a boundary thing, right? So if we know that there's in any way that we could be distributing something negative out into the world, it's our responsibility to not do that. And the masks help us not do that. But other people might not see it that way. And so those of us with strong boundaries go, wait a minute, but that's not super cool. So it's asking us to do something different. We're being asked to do something different. We're being asked to step way out of our comfort zone. It's not as easy to breathe when you're wearing one. It's not as easy to communicate, but it's also a way of saying, hey, what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. And right now there's this invisible force floating around that is very unhealthy. And I'm going to do what I can to not share it if in some weird way I have it. And I'm going to hope that you do the same. And if you have that more neutral feeling about it, you'll see more people wearing masks, because you'll just be naturally drawn to that. So I think it's okay for us to say it's a big drag. I mean, it is, but it's a way of having good boundaries. You know, I'm not going to say what it is, but there's a very funny post on the internet about comparing the masks to wearing clothing and having an accident. And it's very funny, and I'm sure you can find it, but it's just a way of saying, if something happens, I'm keeping my stuff with me, you keep your stuff with you. So again, we can say, I don't love this, but I know it's the healthiest thing to do. I mean, I used to have a neighbor when I was little who did not like wearing clothes. He was 3, and he thought it was the best thing to run around the neighborhood, and maybe he was 2, and his mother would chase him and try to explain to him why he should be wearing clothing. And it was hard for him to make that adjustment, but he did make that adjustment. And in a way, that's what this is like. It's like, maybe it's not comfortable, but really it is the best thing to do. It keeps you warm and it keeps your stuff yours and other people's stuff theirs. I hope I answered your question.
And then there's one from Jill after that about the cardinal.
I've heard it. Oh, that's really cool. So I've had a cardinal more than once walk on my patio as though to make me acknowledge. Let's see, again, make me acknowledge, and also a blue jay, and they hang around for a while. How do we know who it is? Okay, so there's a couple things. I love this. So spirit does speak through animals. Our loved ones do speak through animals, but also the animals themselves just carry a message. And that's the feeling I'm getting around at least one of these, the cardinal. So what I would do is I would look up on the internet in several different places what a cardinal means, spiritually speaking. I like the Native American take on a lot of this. And I would look for overlaps. So I wouldn't just go to one site, I'd go to several, and I'd look for the overlaps that light me up, that make me feel like, yeah, that feels right to me. The cardinal for me with this message for you is something about being serious about something. And it feels like there's ways that you're overly serious, and there's things that you should be serious about and things that you should just let go. And that's part of what I'm feeling around the cardinal. Blue jays are absolutely beautiful and they're very territorial. So maybe there's something territorial going on for you. I don't know. But I would look, and I'd look to see about them together, because I'm hearing more and more about these birds that we don't normally see coming, and they're together. How cool is that, right? And like the earth is so much cleaner, they're coming. I love that. Okay.
Sam,
Anybody else that wants to raise their hand, so to speak?
Sam has a question. I'll unmute him.
Okay.
Sam?
So I have a friend with me, and we're both wondering that, well, for me, I'm getting a lot of messages that I'm like bringing in during this quarantine, and I know I'm supposed to be like doing something with it. And I'm just not sure if I'm tapping into doing what I should be doing. And I know it's very important for this time. So to make a long story short, I'm going into learning a lot about like Kundalini, everything that has to do with that, and the Dharma. And I'm connecting with Vishnu, the Hindu deity. And I'm just not sure, like, I know it's important for this quarantine time. And I didn't know, like, what does that mean, or what do you think that means with connecting with Vishnu or the whole Hindu, you know, because it's not a connection with, per se, a past loved one like you were talking about earlier, but it's with the deity.
An energy. So couple things. First of all, keep your face on. Gary, I'd like to keep looking at them because that helps me connect even more, and thank you. So first of all, it's lovely that you are researching this and studying this and bringing in that amazing, positive, beautiful energy. Congratulate yourself for doing that. It can be heavy though, right? So, and it's important to get some balance, and because I don't know where you live, but it's maybe you can't go out and jog, or you can't go out and touch a tree. It's very important to start touching living things like trees or plants, eating live food, you know, like celery, things like that. That will help keep you balanced, because as you're doing this, you say to yourself, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I want to find balance, because these teachers teach us about balance. Balance would be doing things that you enjoy as well, and saying to yourself, I'm doing great with this. This is interesting to me. I'm filled with love when I'm reading it. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do with it. I don't need to feel like I'm called to do something even bigger, because I know I'm doing it. You're doing it. Know that you're doing it. And then again, find some balance with it, because it can be very heavy energy, and heavy isn't bad, but it's important to do things that are light to balance it out, and to congratulate yourself that you can absorb this and you can still feel grounded. It's wonderful. Keep doing it and enjoy. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And
Great.
Thank you for asking that lovely question.
Thank
You're
you.
both lovely.
Is it okay? I have a friend here with me that she's got something different she's wondering about.
Sure.
All right, so before the quarantine happened, shortly before, I had a dream about my uncle who passed away, and then I got an invite to my cousin's wedding, which is his son. And I was afraid to go to the wedding because my other uncle sexually abused me, and I don't know if this quarantine is time for me to heal.
Well, absolutely. I think that there's so much healing. I'm so happy you guys are bringing this up. I just got the chills. So that means that there's a lot of people wondering this too. Yes, this quarantine is a time for people to heal. Absolutely. There's no question about it. And obviously, maybe, I don't know if you did go to the wedding or where the,
Oh,
where
it's in August.
so if you get to go to the wedding, you go to the wedding if it feels right to you. You get to go to that wedding and you don't have to interface with anybody you don't want to. And maybe you bring somebody with you that helps you feel even more grounded and safe. I feel like the uncle that was kind that visited you was
Yeah.
telling you it's all right to go. But you have to go where you feel safe. See, the thing about anybody intruding on our boundaries, and sexual abuse is such an intrusion on boundaries in every way possible. You can put up a boundary that says, back off, Charlie. Not going to think about you. Not going to let you in my space. Not going to interact with you. I'm putting my energy over here. And if that feels right, that's great. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But you have your boundaries, and your boundaries say nobody will ever do that to me again. Ever.
I actually ended up messaging his wife and coming out to her, the one that sexually abused me. And she said eventually, like, you don't have to worry about that bastard being at the wedding.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it makes me feel good. But
So it is. And your question fits for everybody listening about, is this a healing time? This is absolutely a healing time. It's a time, and not just healing. It's not like we have to dive in and go into everything that's ever hurt us. We can if we want, but it's a healing time because we don't have to get up at crack of dawn or whenever we get up for work, crack 10, and go do something. We can choose what we're doing with our day, and we can choose the energy we're living in, because there's not as many things around us that affects it. So we choose it. We always choose it, but now we can really consciously choose it. So if I have clients that are dealing with things like you're dealing with, or the death of somebody they love, or whatever they're dealing with, I say the same thing I did to your friend here. Make sure there's a balance. Make sure as you're doing things that you're dealing with, that you have that balance. Because what happens is we go so far one way that we lose our balance. And you want to find, pardon my pun, the happy medium. You want to be in that medium space so you can feel balanced with it all, because we're not here to torture ourselves, and this isn't about torturing ourselves. It's about clearing things out that we don't need anymore and honoring what we do. So thank you very much.
thank you for your insight.
Thank you.
And there's a question on the chat from Finally. Do you see that one?
Finally, yes. When will the noise boundary issue I'm having with my upstairs neighbors soon be resolved, or will I have to move? Look at that. It came in at 11:11. Somebody's did anyway. So that's interesting. Another boundary question, right? So I'm not sure what your neighbors will do, but you can shift how it's impacting you, and I don't blame you. I can't stand excess noise, especially when it's time to sleep. So I would say the way you interact with it is going to change. I'm not sure how they'll change. Some of it depends on how you're interacting with it, because when we're irritated with something, and rightly so, we feed that energy. So if you can find a way to pull your energy and know that it's irritating, but not be in an irritated state, I feel like it will calm down, because that's the way they're unloading. That's the way they're releasing their upset. And we want everybody to do that. But when it's in our space, again, that's another boundary issue. It's like the mask, you want to make sure people are being respectful. And now is the time to be respectful. And what they're doing has nothing to do with you, but it impacts you significantly. And that will help you to remember that even though it irritates you, and of course it does, it isn't really about you. It's about what they're doing. So if you can pull your own energetic interaction away from it, I feel like it will shift. If you're supposed to move, then that would be a good reason to move. I don't feel like anything is going to happen in that area for a few months. Anyone else have a question?
And Erin had said happy 11/11. Do you want to speak about the 11/11 at all?
I love 11/11. Has anybody seen the double numbers? So everything is energy. Our thoughts are energy. The chair you're sitting on is energy. The computer you're using, or the device you're using to see this beautiful, amazing interaction that we all get to have together, is energy. Numbers have an energy too, and so there are many different thoughts behind all of the numbers. The number one, heaven and earth, the connection with heaven and earth. So it's very much about being connected, and when it's all these double numbers, it means feeling very connected between heaven and earth within you and heaven and earth outside of you. And it's a spiritual hello as well. It's a spiritual, you are growing spiritually. Oftentimes when people are in a huge spiritual space of growth, they will see 11/11. They'll just happen to turn something on and see the clock say 11/11, or they send something to somebody and via email and it's 11/11. So it's really it's a kind of a thumbs up from your guides.
All right, and Ellen has her hand up, so I'll unmute her.
Hi, Jodi.
Hi.
Yeah, I had my hand up and then I took it down and then I put it back up again and then I took it. I have been informed by my ex-husband, who has sent me alimony for quite a period of time, that he is financially hardshiped, and thus he said that he needs to look into it legally and do an investigation, and I don't know what he's investigating, but the picture he's painting for me doesn't look real favorable as far as finances are concerned. And he said he can't get a hold of an attorney because of the virus thing, and I don't know, I think phones are still working, but I don't know. But anyhow, he said it would probably be a couple of months. And also, for me, I'm trying not to live in fear.
You're doing an amazing job.
Am I?
You're doing an amazing job. I have to tell you this. The energy behind your ex-husband, it feels like there's actually truth in it, and it feels like he's sad. He wants to be able to make more, to give more. I don't feel like this is hey, I'm taking advantage of this time to not give you something, finger up. It feels to me like there's something obviously legitimate going on, and he doesn't know what to do with it. And the little boy in him is coming out and saying, I can't get a hold of an attorney because he's just afraid. So I feel like the outcome will be mixed, but I do not feel like you will never see another penny from him.
You don't, he said he wasn't doing this for revenge.
He's not. I don't feel like he is. I mean, again, I'm only seeing the signs. I mean, I'm an energy reader. I'm just seeing the signs. It could change in a minute. I'm not seeing the future. I'm just reading the energy and the signs for right now. I am not feeling like there's a bunch of malice. I feel like there's a bunch of fear. I feel bad for him right now. I feel bad that he's not able to give you what you need as well. But I'm not feeling like there's malice. If you can connect with the fact that he's afraid, and that you understand why he's afraid, and that he really does want to give you what he's supposed to be giving you, that is going to bring that about, the chances of you getting from him that much more. So keep attaching to the fact that you know he wants to give to you. So funny. Here I'm on Zoom and I'm still talking with my hands.
Yeah. Well, my daughter, I mean, she's aware of this also, and she's concerned too that she may have to help me out financially if he can't, so it's just kind of put an additional burden on all of us,
Yes, it definitely has put a burden. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you know what else it's done? It's also connected you as a family, because that I'm getting the chills. There's so many people that need to hear this, because we are all taking care of each other. And it's very beautiful that your daughter would even think, you know what, then I'm going to step forward and help my mom, because that's what families do when they can do that. So there's a light in that. And I feel like he will continue to help you. I do.
Okay. It's just hard not to get there, just to live in the moment,
it's the uncertainty is very difficult to live with. I would agree. And I don't know if he's going to be able to give you money tomorrow. Excuse me. I don't know if he'll be able to give you money tomorrow, but I do feel like it will come. And that looks to me like the signs say it will come. And living in that moment without being resentful is always been a key for you. And it's always been your strength.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It's so reassuring hearing that from you.
I'm glad. I say what I see. Somebody else have a question? Or is it more chat?
There's one on chat. Do you see that one from Shelly B?
My son has been focused on being at my home instead of his own other parents lately. Is there a reason why, and how can I best support him? What does he need? He needs to be with you. He needs to be wherever he is. So he needs to be with you, and it feels like sometimes that can impact how we feel about our own space, because there are people in our space, probably a lot of us are experiencing that. So we have to readjust how we deal with our own privacy. And if your child needs to be with you, then that's where they need to be. The easiest thing to do is just accept that and listen for the messages that they're sharing. And children, no matter if they're 50 or they're 5, will tell us, they'll show us. So I would look for the invisible messages, the ones that sort of just come up, things that get repeated, off comments that get repeated, that maybe there needs to be some soothing going on. And if you need your space, you can find a way to have your space by, going in the basement if you have a basement, or sitting in your car, which is something I've done, which has been fun because then I can sing really loud and nobody can hear me. Doing some things for yourself where you have your own space will help you, and it will help your son because you'll be able to hear what it is he needs even more. I'm not getting this huge message about what he needs. I'm more focused on what you need. I hope that helped.
I'm not seeing any more questions.
Gosh, I'm feeling them.
Are you?
Yes, I'm feeling them. Wouldn't it be funny if I pointed out who's doing that? Which I won't, because that's not nice for privacy, but I can feel it. There are people with more questions, and I'm happy to answer them. If you don't have them, that's okay too.
And I don't know how long you want to go. We're at about 23 after, and time, it doesn't really matter now, so you can go as long as you want. But
okay, I'll go a few more minutes. So
there's another question here.
Okay.
See that one from the Suze Lauer there? Oh, she said she's not sure how to raise her hand, so let me unmute her and see if she's got a question.
Okay.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, so I have a question. A couple of weeks ago, I went into a Miracle Ear to have my hearing checked. They were open, and I knew that I had a hearing loss, and he checked them, and I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna get hearing aids, but as I was going out the door, he said, I actually have these hearing aids that returned back into me from somebody who didn't like them. They wore them a year, and they brought them back in, and I can offer them to you at a much lower price.
Oh.
So I went home and I thought about it, and then I went back, and they were originally like $6,000, and he was offering them to me for $2,500.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go for it. I'll try them. And so he fitted me for them. I actually have them in now. And he said they're our highest technology, and they go up to 12,000 hertz, which most hearing aids only go to 8. And so anyway, I've put them in, and I go out walking every day into the woods, and I can really hear the birds.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, they just really come right into me. And so I have 2 questions about it. I'm still getting used to them. Can you confirm to me if this is like, it felt like this was a spiritual, that I was spiritually guided to get these.
Absolutely, no question. I'm sure everybody would agree. So do you have a little bit of a headache right here?
Right here?
Mm-hmm.
No, but I have a bone growth there.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew there was something going on there. That just sort of a side note. That's very spiritual. He was given to offer those to you. You were given to take them. And just like when somebody opens up psychically, you're all of a sudden hearing things that you haven't been able to hear for longer than you realize. And so all of that influx of sound is going to take you a little while to balance out, but your insights will come through that as well. You will hear things intuitively that you might not have been hearing before. So it's a very cool thing that happened on many levels.
Okay. So I was just wondering how my hearing the higher frequencies also is going to be stimulating my brain in a different way.
Right.
But then also I had a question on, because these were used, somebody wore them, they didn't die, which was good, but like, do I need to do anything? Because
they did. They cleaned them. They cleared them and they cleaned them. You don't have anything of the other person's energy. They didn't need it. They were done.
Okay.
Excuse me, they were done with it. And so it's fine. It's clear and clean. I don't feel like you're carrying their energy at all.
Okay, great.
Okay, so this is unrelated to this. Excuse me. Frog in my throat. Doesn't typically happen to me unless I'm doing readings. So there are things that you can be doing right now to help keep building your light, like I've talked about, and I'm doing some of them. And I always, after I'm done with an event, I always go, I forgot to say it. So I don't want to forget to say this. I am on Twin Cities Live on May 8th. Twin Cities Live is a very upbeat show. They talk a lot about fashion and food and fun and intuition and movies. And you can look at it online or you can watch it live. It's an awesome thing. You can look on my website or you can look on my Facebook page or anything like that. And you'll see it starts at 3. It goes to 4:30. Not sure when I'm on, but it's a really upbeat show. It's a great thing to do, to watch even when I'm not on. And also I'm going to do a Zoom thing. I don't know how many people I'm going to have, and I am going to charge, but it won't be much because I want to kind of get how the money exchange works with it. And I'm going to do readings. And this is helping me understand how to do this because there's so many energies coming at me. When I can see somebody, I can zoom more in on their energy. So this is such a lovely thing to do. I love that you guys are doing this, Gary. And please keep connecting with people. If this is the way you can connect, keep doing this. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing for you guys to be able to do. I'm doing more newsletters and more, I give away these tools and techniques on how to be more intuitive on my website. You have to click on it, it just comes to you. I'm doing more of those. So I'm doing what I can to give because it feels good to me. That's how I'm sharing my light. Think about ways that you can share your light. Okay, I can take another question.
Yeah, there is some more questions on there if you want to answer them. I think the next one was from Finally, what's wrong with my knee and will it heal on its own?
See, I don't see that, but I can connect with the energy. So I feel like you will be able to alleviate some of the buildup of fluids and the pain in your knee, but you have to see somebody that can help you understand what's happening for it. I do feel like you're going to have to see somebody. I don't know what that means. I mean, a professional about it. I also know that this is beyond how you're walking, but I see chiropractor. You know, I see that on a normal basis. I at least go once a month, and I know I haven't been able to go, or I haven't gone. Even though they're open, I will go because they're really careful. But there's ways that when we don't adjust, when we're not walking as much as we walk, our body goes off a little bit. So then anything that we had going on with like our knee or any part of us might get bigger. It might be more obvious. So you don't have to worry about it. Once you're out doing your more normal things, it might adjust itself. But in this case, I feel like I'm touching kind of the soft part of my knee, like in between the bone. I feel like that's what's going on potentially. And there's the pain of it will be alleviated by you maybe keeping it up, icing it, doing things like that, but you're going to need to go see somebody too. I don't feel like it's a huge thing to worry about, but it would be good to go be seen. And again, I'm only getting these messages. I'm not a physician. These are just my impressions at the moment.
And the next one was from Patty Butler about back pain. Do you see that one?
Yeah. I have had back pain for almost 10 years now, and the last 5 years have been so bad that it is really interfering with my life. What is that? No treatment. It jumped. No treatment has helped me, and they aren't sure what caused the pain. Okay, so when I'm experiencing something like this with a client or myself, there's all these different things to look at. There is where in your back does it hurt, and where does that fit with soul energy and what kind of message that might be. There is what's going on, when did it start, what was happening for me at the moment it started in my life, what sort of things emotionally were going on that I can clear. And then also there's that physical piece where we need to go get some help with it too. And if nobody's been able to give you insight, then I would not panic. I would just keep looking. I would know that there is somebody that can give you some insight about what it is. And in the meantime, you do things that help build your strength instead of not doing things. Do things to build your strength, because the stronger the rest of your body, the stronger your back. I've had back problems too. And I know that there's different parts of the back that represent different things. And I don't really believe that you should just dial into just that, but it can be enlightening. And anything that enlightens you lightens the pain. So I would go that direction. And I do feel like somebody's going to be able to tell you what this might be. And it doesn't even feel like it's back related. It feels like it's like foot related or something like that that will help the rest of you. So somebody with a broader picture would be good. Thank you for asking.
And then we got two final questions. I think the one from Sam, what is the greatest thing I can do to help with Mother Nature at this time and going forward? You see that?
Oh, I love that. So what loving Mother Nature is what we can do, and appreciating that she's coming back with this amazing health for the planet, and not feeling like we're being punished, because I don't feel like it is a punishment. I feel like there's been neglect, and now we're not neglecting, and we're giving the earth time to breathe. And so sitting in appreciation of that and looking at the pictures of the turtles and all the things that are going on with the ozone, and filling ourselves with appreciation for that is a way of giving back. And I feel like this person who asked this question already does amazing things for Mother Earth, being more conscious of not wasting. I mean, we're not using the baggies that we used to use in my home. We're doing things that are taking care of us financially, our resources, and the earth just automatically, because not everything is as available. It really makes you understand what we purchase and what we don't need to purchase, and what's more important, and how to recycle things in lots of different ways, reuse things. That's another way to give back, is just reuse, reuse, reuse. But I already feel like this person who asked the question's doing it. So maybe just saying it will help the rest of us. Okay, was there one more question?
One more from Sharon there. You see that one? Mike, about the throat?
Oh, my throat is filling up. I'm curious if it's allergies, but I think it's more than allergies. So yes, for me, when my throat fills up like that, there's so much spirit energy coming in trying to get me to talk and say things that I get a frog in my throat. If you ever have a regular conversation with me, I don't usually clear my throat a lot, but when I'm doing this kind of work, it happens. So I know that that's a lot of spirit energy coming through, and that I need to, like, my screen needs to be a little thicker so that it doesn't all come in all at once and choke me. And also definitely it is partially allergies too. I mean, there's a lot blooming. I love trees so much, and I'm allergic to them when they bloom, but that affects me as well. So, and so does mold. Who wants an address? So I think you're going to have to email me. So I don't know it by heart. I have an office in Wayzata. So if you email info@theintuitivecoach.com, I'll send that to you, or my assistant will. And my website is theintuitivecoach.com. And I have books. Oh, where are my books? Hold, please. Let's see. Here's one of them. Here's a picture. I won't do that one. I don't want to stand up because I have shorts on, and I don't really want you guys to see that. So I'm on Amazon. I'm in bookstores if you can buy locally. It's the Happy Medium book series. There's the Happy Medium Awakening to Your Natural Intuition, and the Happy Medium Speaking the language of intuition. They're both, oh, somebody was holding them up. I love that. Can you see that? They're fun books all about intuition. And I have another one that I just gave to my publisher, and I'm sure they'll bring it back so I can do some editing, and hopefully it'll be back. It'll be out in 2021. A little different than what I've done before, absolutely intuition related, but a lot about how you can bring the best things to you in your life. So, oh, I'm so happy I talked about these things. Now I won't look back and think I forgot. So you have my website, you know, I'm on social media. If you like Twitter, I don't know if this group is big on Twitter, but I'm on Jodi Livon on Facebook and the Happy Medium and the Intuitive Coach. I do Instagram. I do pretty much everything. I don't do Snapchat. So I do everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jodi, and I hope we see you in person soon.
Yes, me too. Hope to see everybody in person. I hope to be able to hug people again. I miss doing that.